for the reminder. Otherwise, recording in progress. Yeah, here, take a look at this. I was just pulling it up to take a look at it. Ponder McKinsey Jones Company, blah, blah, blah. Yep, 43 conversations. And I want to say that's all in the last 7 days. Oh, no, he's been at it for a little over. But yeah, on 43, and her leads are $3 a piece, which I thought was a little high, but again, more expensive leads quite frequently means better engagement. But I was so impressed. And he said one of them's got, touchy credit on the pre-qual. They're barely over 600, an FHA buyer, but the other one was in the sevens and a good buyer. But that was in the first 43 leads. She's got 2 buyers she's now working with. I just thought that was so impressive.
That is impressive.
I love it when people.
She obviously knows how to start a conversation, right?
Yeah, I was trying to look at it and see what the heck is she doing? Look at that. Show me more listings. I'm in Franklin. Blah 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 blah. It's just the plan. There's nothing special. She's just doing it. Although I got to tell you, the stuff I was showing you yesterday, Kurt.
Yeah.
Take a look. I have another document that's just my copy library, but after I did all of the examples of clickable replies and auto responses or whatever, I started building out ad by ad, a complete cut and paste ad. Oh, so I'm going to send an email to you and Christian and Lauren and Keith and a couple other folks, and I'm going to share this document, and I want everybody to contribute any ads that you have that have worked, but done complete usable ads that are, there's the caption, there's the greeting, there's the first clickable reply and auto response, and then what we need for the ad if it's being posted, or what's needed for the ad. So for example, and I'm such a fan, you guys know how jacked up I am about the builder stories. If there's too much competition for the home listings, not sure I like that. Too much competition for, how about if I just say for listings? For listings on, instead of those, I'm going to say, or that, I'm going to say those. Big search sites, maybe you should consider buying new construction. So you are one of 20 competing offers. Here's just a few examples of what Franklin builders have to offer home shoppers. Greeting, hi name, thanks for taking an interest. Everyone always seems to forget about the new build market. These are just 3 of roughly XXX homes available in Franklin. Anyway, how can I be of service today? And then back to, can I get more information on what's available? Of course, there's not a lot, or there's a lot, but it's not all created equal. Tell me what area you're looking in and other specifics on your wish list. And I will get that info over to you. Can I speak to an agent? That one feels lame to me, but doggone it, it gets a lot of clicks. And then I'm back to trying to use, I always want to put one response in. I kind of, you forget all the things that you've done and taught and experimented with, but I like to put one response in there whenever I can come up with it and it's appropriate for the cynical person. Because some people are just naturally cynical. So instead of them going, I'm bailing, I got to give them some way to be cynical. Aren't new homes more expensive with long wait times to move in? Yeah, perfect. That'll bait the cynics. Perfect question. The answer is frequently yes. Because remember, you never, ever disagree with somebody. Nobody will ever be wrong. They have to make a new decision based on new information. So frequently, yes, but not always to either of those. There are plenty of homes that are complete or nearly complete. And sometimes the lack of attention can make the new builds as cheap or not the metal, or cheaper than resale homes. Tell me what's on your wish list and I'll send you some info on what might be of interest, whatever. That's it. I need 3 listen, and I've just started banging these out. I got more and more and more of them. I'm going to fill out a complete ad library, and I'm doing. I've got I'm still doing first time buyer because I like it. I got qualification coaching. I refired up the TCA ads after that rant I got on with you yesterday, Kurt. I love the total cost analysis ads if they're done correctly. Bank statement loans, no brainer. And I'm going to town with some of the listing leads. Everybody always wants listing leads. I still like buyer leads, but dang it, if you want listings, here we go. And I'm jacked up about it because people are getting crazy results using the combo of the relo audience and the local audience. But yeah, by this time next week, I will have dozens and dozens of ready to post ads. And I'm super excited about it. With the idea, again, cut and paste if you're lazy, but please rewrite these, take them as concepts. That's why I still call them examples. Because I hate my copy, but I know I'm in the right space. Somebody just needs to make it a little more friendly, a little more casual, a little more colloquial, but I'm stoked. Kurt will tell you guys, he called me for a half an hour catch up yesterday. And an hour and a half later, I'm freaking ranting. I was literally falling asleep late in the day at the computer typing. And I got to showing him all this stuff and wore the poor guy out for an hour and a half, just going off on all these things that I'm trying to do to make this. I'm just hung up on making it easier. And for the people that like Social Simple's doing it for, what I've been helping Kurt with on the ad side is cut and paste copy ready to go, or the ability for somebody to just come in and go, I want listing story number 1. Give me bank statement number 4. That's it. Just pick it and we'll do everything else. Called it dealer's choice or poster's choice. Yeah, no, I trust you. Just go ahead and put it up. You know what works, which will be the easiest. I hope nobody does that. I hope they actually do their own copy, but that ought to take away a lot of the frustration. So anyway, sorry, I know we're supposed to be here answering questions. I was just excited. Got to talking about Kate Geringer and Keith, who's I'm freaking digging working with them just because of his. If you don't know Keith Geringer, EP-Mortgage Services, everybody should check it out. I think it's the coolest thing in the mortgage industry, real estate industry. He's got all these virtual virtual assistants, and they've got a sea of cubicles full of all these people that do this virtual work. But when you look at the tasks, oh yeah, I want him to put up my listing booster. I want him to do my list reports. I want him to go out and he creates it. They're chasing conditions. They're freaking doing underwriting and processing tasks and everything. And I've always had a hard time, even though I teach classes on how to use virtual assistants, and I've done it for many years. You got to really sift through them to find a good one. Then you got to train them to do everything. And Kurt, you know how many you had to sort through to, for instance, find Allie, who's phenomenal. But you got to get really, really good ones to be able to do well, not here. Now they're managed, they're trained. They're doing repetitive tasks. They don't have to learn everything because they might be doing just one thing, like video editing. Yep, I just want somebody who can cut my videos together. I just want somebody who can. And so I've been using them to automate a lot of these tasks. But so that's how I got introduced to Keith at a mastermind group. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to wear you out, dude. But his wife happens to be a broker. So he started doing these listing story ads, and now I got him off on the builder story ads. But yep, two deals right out of the gate off of 43 leads. I love it when stuff falls into place. Anyway, hey everybody, what's up? Happy Wednesday. I'll resist the urge to go off on a rant.
Bill, what was the
So
amount spent on those 2 deals for the builder that you just showed?
Let's look and see. Sorry, it's the first time I'm in this account, so I haven't built a customized view yet. Does ad spend show up? So I don't have to go build it. $142. $142. Got 2 buyers she's working with. And nobody can expect to get deals for $70 a piece. That is definitely skewed, but doggone it. If you can get them to engage, and that's the key. And that's why I love and again, when you don't just give them a bunch of links, the links will get you the cheapest leads. I love the retargeting if they just click on a link and look at an ad. But if you want them to engage in a conversation with you, only give them those options. And on some of mine, I give them a link and the options. So where's one? Here, let me jump over to, I think it was Builder Story number 3. Third, tell me more about this. Yeah, on this one, I did 3 homes from the same community. Pull 3 homes out of a community. Maybe you're searching in the wrong place for a new home. Did you know there are XX builder communities selling homes? This is why you guys got to write your own stuff. Homes in whatever. Here are a few examples from just one of those communities. Here's a link to this community to get you started, but there's so much more available. Caution, it's not all created equal. If you tell me what your perfect home price, area, etc. is, I will send you some stuff specific to your wish list. Can I get more information on what's available? Can I speak to an agent? Tell me more about this community. Hi name, here's some info on that, blah, 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 and then a link to it. And then I said, what's needed for this? Well, you need 3 pictures of homes in one builder community. Suggest you use XBAT, X square feet for the image caption. For the auto response on number 3, we'll need a link to the community information they requested. This could be a link to the builder's page, but I would prefer it if you gave them some sort of downloadable information, a la go to the builder's website, grab, because they all have brochures and downloadable this and that and whatever, but grab something, put it in your own Dropbox or G Drive, and then send them a link to that, or put that link in your response 3. But I'm just trying to build out, as you can see, nothing but ad after ad after ad in a cut and paste format.
Bill,
with
do you already
lots of
have a
typos.
bank statement already? Do you already have a bank statement one? And how that
Yeah,
be done?
on the bank statement loans, let me just show you. I haven't added it in because now I'm putting it, I didn't know where else to put it. So I started putting them all in PowerPoint. But if I go to, where was ad traffic, I've got copy libraries in so many places. Client ad development library, lead gen campaigns, and bank statement loans. So wait, before I do that, let me back up and take bank statement loans and share and copy that link and drop it in the chat for you guys. I'm getting better at this. All right, so this is the way I used to do and still like to do. I'm just so pressed for time. If anybody ever has a great copy person, I would love to be able to guide somebody with my rough garbage and have them make clean garbage. But when I'm looking to do a new ad, the very first thing I do is I go and create an example library. So my example library is I go find all of the bank statement loan ads that have high engagement and have been running for at least 90 days. Nobody's going to keep spending a bunch of money on ads if they're not working. So the first thing you'll see in there is just, I just want to see what's working for other people. I think I can beat anybody's ad copy, but hey, I want to see what's working. Because if nothing else, I know this works, or they wouldn't be running it for multiple days. So that's where I start. That gives me my, okay. Then not that one. Close, where to go? There we go. Bank statement. Loans. So here's my bank statement, lead generation ads. I would always start personally with trying to get into the consumer's head. It's empathy. It's all about them, not you. So I want to know, just get in my head, who are these potential people? What's their pain point? What's what's going to grab their attention? So I always start off with a little description. These people are frustrated because they're judged on their taxable income or W-2s, which they likely don't even have, the W-2s, instead of on their cash flow. And this is just me writing to myself. They are winners, manifesting the American dream and deserve to be recognized. That's who the persona is in my mind. There's somebody I'm a kick-ass entrepreneur. I deserve to be appreciated for that, not freaking judged for it. Because in my mind, it pisses them off. I'm one of those people, pretty good at writing down my income and tracking but that hurts my eligibility. Possible hooks. Then I move to hooks. What's gonna be the hook? And I'm not writing headlines here. I'm just trying to think what might grab their attention. Mortgages don't have to be based on your W-2s. Mortgages based on your bank statement cash flow instead of W-2. Finally, smart mortgages for entrepreneurs. Would you qualify for a better mortgage if it was based on your cash flow instead of your taxable income? Business owners without W-2s finally have good mortgage options. And I just don't, the rule when you're doing creative is don't let the pen stop moving or the keyboard stop clicking. I just throw out a bunch of crap to try and get my head in the right place. Then I came down here and I started writing posts. If you don't make your money from W-2 wages, but that doesn't mean you don't make your money from it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have great mortgage options. Even judging your ability to qualify for mortgage on your tax returns can be unfair since the smartest individual, whatever. So I wrote out some copy and tried different versions. And then I put in some conversion copy, see how much you qualify for, whatever. Hi, name, thanks for. And so I came up with, and I did both lead forms and, questions, name, phone number, email. Do you have 6 months bank statements with consistent cash? I don't know if it's 6 or 12. I don't know anything about loans in reality. What sort of loan amount do you have in mind? Great. Those are my questions that I would put on a form. This is my messenger sequence. So if you want to do bank statement loans, that was my thought process. Now in this go round, this iteration, instead of creating, oh, by the way, I also put in media because what picture am I going to put up? So as you can see, I just grabbed a bunch of photos off Shutterstock or wherever. Some of them I got the headlines on. I can get a mortgage based on cash flow instead of taxable income, or cash flow. So I just grabbed a bunch of media pictures that I might try and test. I personally like sarcastic stuff. It just fits me. Mortgages based on cash flow instead of taxable income for self-employed individuals are well, obvious. And then my sign that says caution, water on road during rain. Or if smart business owners minimize their taxable income, how come the dumb ones qualify for better mortgages? And then I thought that was great. Somebody put school instead of school. So there you go. That's all my, a cash flow versus tax return, which mortgages were based, whatever. So that's my media library that I created for that, assuming that one of these pictures, maybe the headline, mortgages that judge the self-employed on tax returns instead of cash flow are just dumb. And then I love this, texting while driving kills. For more driving tips, text safety to 791. It's like, shut up, really? Did somebody really put that billboard up? But I just like this kind of, and again, I'm trying to stay social media. I'm not trying to be too dry. I'm trying to be authentic and genuine and a person and not a company. That's my goal. But some of these are more whatever. So that's what is in that folder I just shared with you guys for bank statement loans. Only now, as I build out this library, instead of saying, here's a bunch of ideas, I'm just writing out the ads, and I'm going to write out a sample version of an ad that you can take and look, because it's easy to edit and go, no, I don't like the way that sounds. I'm going to edit it. But it's hard to start from a blank sheet of paper. But in my mind, this just allowed me to go cut, paste, or to say, hey, Kurt, can you put up listing story number 7 or bank statement loan number 5? Just to make it super, super simple. So that's my current take on it. There's your bank statement loans. By the way, when you're doing bank statement loans, you target all of the normal real estate stuff. People looking at Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, mortgage pre-qualifications, mortgage calculators, etc. The 32 items. And then you narrow the audience. They have to be interested in one of these 32 things. And when you hit the narrow button below that, and they must be interested in, and the only one that I can currently find is SBA. But there's 32 million people that follow the SBA. So who's going to follow the small business? It's not SBA, it's Small Business Administration spelled out. That's my target that I've had the best luck with, is people that follow the SBA. And honestly, you can just do that. People that follow the SBA, hit them with this, got them. Internally, we cheat and use, I've got a 9 million business owner audience that I scraped out of LinkedIn, that Kurt and the crew over at Social Simple or any of my coaching clients use. But
So Christian can do this
but
for me right
honestly-
now. Can Christian do this right now? Like if I is that something he can initiate?
Christian, add traffic, but with Christian and I,
Mhm.
we just do the traffic. So he can set up any audience you want and steer your traffic to him. So if you put up a post that said, blah, 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 if you want more information, message me. He could set up a rule for you that says, anytime I put in hashtag bank statement loan or whatever, hashtag entrepreneurs rule. Anytime the system sees that hashtag, it would then take your post and steer it only to that audience with what, put $100 on it over 7 days, or put $250 on it over 14 days, whatever you ask for. Optimize for messages or optimize for clicks, because the click is going to drive them to my landing page, or messages. Facebook now allows, let me see if I can find a business page. Somebody's got to have one open here. Hang on one second. I'm going to show you the new messenger toy. So there we go. Add traffic, view page. When you go to your page in the business view, business.facebook.com/page, not whatever. So I'm not looking at just the page. I'm looking at the page with all of the options over here. When I'm here, when I come down here to create a post, I can say get messages, or I can say create post and then add the messenger feature in after the fact. I can also add get calls, and it will put a call me button in it. So, and that's just on a regular post. So when I create the post now, create the post with get messages, great. I'm going to put in that copy, put in one of those pictures or my video or whatever, and it adds the send message button. It doesn't let you customize a call to action or anything else. But hey, if it's got Bill Hillestad, loan dude, whatever down here, and send message, and I say to check your own eligibility and see how much more money you qualify for based on cash flow versus tax returns, click down below and shoot me a message. I'll only need a couple pieces of information. That can all happen from Christian. That can all happen from ad traffic. That's just putting traffic on posts. This will use your standard messenger greeting, whatever you set up in your page. So discard that, which is messenger tools or settings on your page, and you can set up your messages. And now, great, I want to set up my standard, hey, blah, 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 it's Bill, how can I help you, whatever. So that's what that will do. The difference with putting up an ad campaign is when you put it up through the back end of Facebook through, and I'll just show you, Ads Manager. If I go into Ads Manager and say create an ad, and I want this optimized for, oh, look, they changed me over. This is the new view. Where it's like, wait, messages isn't there anymore. They buried messages inside engagement. So now I can optimize for messages and say continue. And wait very patiently for Facebook to load, probably because this is the first time I've ever used this view. Anyway, when it loads, I'm going to put up a dark post or an ad. And the difference is with ads, I get, and I'll just show you, I'm not sure what Keith did here, but now when they click learn more on your ad, and I can put up carousels and things like that. I can do stuff in an ad that I can't do in a post, but mainly down here on my message template, the message template, instead of being the standard message for your page, where it's the same no matter what it is, they click to message you. Now, instead, I get to do one specific to the ad. That's where I can say all of the specific stuff, putting in links. Great choice, Bill. Are these new builds? And so I got that little 2 layers of bot. I got customized messages, whatever. I can do split tests when I do ads. Anytime I put up an ad, I always, without exception, the moment I put up this ad, the first thing I would have done is said duplicate. And I come down here, and for me personally, I always make between 2 and 4 copies. I want to run 3 to 5 versions. Say duplicate. As soon as I duplicate it, I'm going to then go in and try a different opening headline, a different button. I always try versions. And Facebook, whatever your budget is, which is up here at the ad set level, Facebook will always spread your money over the multiple versions, and it will go to the one that's performing best. So I don't worry if I put up some stupid stuff. The bad copy dies a quick and painless death. The best one gets all the traffic, and I get my lowest cost per lead. So lead gen is separate from the branding, but you can generate plenty of leads off of just the traffic, because you have the messenger button and you have the traffic button and you have the call me button. If you'd like some information, click down below, give me a shout. By the way, that only works if you pick up the phone. Nobody leaves messages anymore, but I have a hard time with the phone personally.
So
But
that's
yeah,
something that I
that's
need to do by myself, or do I hire Social Simple to do it? I'm a new client, so I'm learning about
Okay.
everything. How you
Well,
work.
then I would start by just putting up one of those posts as a post. Go take like that copy that I just had up there and show it here. Let me just grab it again. File, open recent, bank statement, loan lead gen, blah, blah, blah. There it is. So go grab some copy and rewrite it. My stuff is always poorly written. I just suck at writing good copy, but I'm really good at getting leads. Rewrite this and make it feel like you. Put up your video to go with it, or grab one of those images. And then try just having them message you or call you. And again, I want every time you post, if you guys haven't heard this from me before, I think everybody should have a signature. Just like you have a signature block in your emails, you need a signature for all of your posts. I like them a little bit longer. As always, your business and referrals are appreciated. If you or anybody you know ever has questions or could use assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. Bill Hillestad, phone number, email, NLS ID, whatever. couple emojis to make it stand out. And then I'm going to cut and paste that, a line break or two down below my regular post on every post so that it looks like a signature. It's just there. I'm not really soliciting people. It's just there because I want every post to remind people that I'm here for you. If you don't want one that long, then just put in your name, phone number, email. Need assistance, got questions, name, phone number, email. I also like to put in my messenger link, which is just m.me page name. That way, everything you post has a call to action. Whether you put the message button on your posts, like I was just showing you where I can put the message button. Where was that? There we go. Create post, check. Yeah, see, what? I can't do the message stuff. It's not there. On your regular page, you won't see the message button. And then it doesn't show up here on the add to your post because I'm here doing this as me. But when I change my interaction to I'm now not me, I'm now add traffic, or you are not Bill Hillstead, I'm Bill Hillstead loan guy.
Yeah.
As soon as you change to business, now you get to ask in your post for messages or phone calls and actually have a button on the bottom of all your posts. I think that should be on all your posts. Personal preference, up to you, but I would just put up one of those posts and see how it does. I would create a specialty rule if it does okay, because again, it add traffic. If you're spending, say, $15 a day, that $15 every day is getting split over how many active posts you have. If you got a lot of active posts and that one's not the most engaging, it might only be getting $1 or $2 a day. So when I'm doing a lead gen post or something like that, I want to have one rule, optimize for messages or optimize for clicks, traffic. And I'm going to maybe make that $100 over 7 days. That way, anytime I put up a post where I want this one to go get, and I want that targeted not just to my people, I want that targeted to the home buying universe. If you have a specialty rule for lead gen, then you just put up a post, include a button or at least a call to action signature or a link, something they can click on some way for it to convert, and just put it up and you don't need to do it. But like I said, when you get into the full pony lead gen game where you're trying to generate real volumes of leads, yeah, that's when my recommendation is someday you should learn to do it. In the meantime, use somebody like Social Simple to do your lead gen, but it's only worth it if you're going to be serious. Really doing leads is not, it's not a little bit on the side thing. If you're going to do a little bit on the side, just do it through your posts, the add traffic method. And then when you're ready to go big, you know, one of Kurt's people out in Vegas did 120 million off of lead gen last year, just on Facebook. That's when you're really, you know, I got people that are working those leads. That's two separate games.
Yeah, I get. Well, that's my situation, because right now we do, you know, a few thousand a month on Google ads, and it's just it's so expensive, and it's not producing the results as it once was before. I've got a company that does it for us, and it's, you know, we got a team of few loan officers where we're, and I'm just trying to make some conversion. I think we can do better through social media, but I'm just trying to learn how to do it right now.
Yep. I do that all the time. Thank you, Kurt, for not complaining about the fact that I tell people all the time that, look, you can come to these trainings. I'll answer all your questions, teach you everything I know. Eventually, you should own this and do it yourself. But in the meantime, Kurt has taken quite a few of my clients and he does their lead gen and educates them along the way. The whole idea is, you know, in 90 days, 180 days, you don't need to pay anybody else to do it. You got it down, you can do it yourself. At that point, you may decide, yeah, it's easier just to pay somebody else to do it for me. But lead gen is usually a very hands-on active thing. And by the way, the I look at this and go, yeah, buyer leads are, $2.06 on this one, or where was the other one? It was $3.32. Occasionally it'll drift below $1. Things like bank statement loans tend to run in the $10 or $15 range, but you are getting a better quality lead. And by the way, no matter what, people always say good leads, bad leads. I don't believe in bad leads. There's now leads and future leads. I want to capture everybody who looks at my lead ads, everybody that clicks, and they're just going to see me moving forward because now they're in my audience. They're going to keep seeing all my posts. I don't care if they're converting today or 6 months or 2 years from now. I know that 8% of them convert every year. I don't care when they convert. I'll just take the now leads now and the rest of them later. Up to you. And look, I got to tell you, like some of the leads when we do listing leads, they'll run as little as $20, 25 at the low end, 150 at the high end. They probably average about 40 or $50, but they're insanely profitable because there's really not a lot of bad listing leads. I don't get renters calling me to ask if they can list their apartment. When I'm doing buyer leads, I will get a lot of renters, stuff like that. But that's why I do stuff on Messenger, because I can sift through hundreds of leads in no time. Let's just see. Yeah, whoever this is, their lead started at 9:52 this morning, and look, scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. I could handle 100 leads without hardly, breaking a sweat. It's that ability to sift through those cheap leads in bulk. So yeah, if they're $2 a piece, I convert 0.5%, which honestly, I just don't know how you can do that bad. But if I convert 0.5%, that's still only $400 a deal. And it doesn't take a lot of time. The key with the messenger is what gives them a reason to engage. I can't just expect them to roll over for me and go, yes, please pull my credit. Let me tell you what house I'm looking for. You're my new buyer's agent, whatever. I got to have some value in there. I got to have some hook, something that FSBOs. Somebody threw out the FSBO idea the other day, and I'm dying to run FSBO campaigns. I didn't realize how many FSBOs there still are on the market and how many of those aren't on Zillow. What FSBO buyer, if I shoot them an email and say, hey, I do these featured FSBOs campaigns. I don't want anything. I don't charge for it. I just wondered if I could feature your FSBO in hot FSBOs worth looking at. These typically get thousands of views. Everybody's going to say, hell yeah, knock yourself out. And that's one of my ads that I'm adding in down here, or it'll be a bunch of my ads. You know what? Not everything for sale shows up on those search sites you spend all your time on. Check out these 3 FSBOs or 3 listings that are being sold by the owner that shouldn't have nearly the competition of the other stuff you're looking at. Then one picture, bed, bath, just standard listing story, but it's FSBOs. But now I'm going to give them more reason to engage with me because, oh yeah, I make that one of my specialties. I love finding off Zillow listings. I like the stuff with less competition. That's why I like builder product. I like FSBOs. I like whatever. How do I find homes that have less competition? Why do you keep gravitating towards the new listings that everybody's going to jump in and you're going to compete with 20 other offers? That's a reason to engage with me. Finding out how much more I qualify for based on my bank statements instead of my tax returns. Fairly simple process. We don't have to go through the full pre-approval. Just need to know this, that, and the other thing or whatever. and tell you if you qualify for more and roughly how much more. And if you could come up with some simple little yes. If you tell me what your taxable income was last year, and you tell me what your cash flow on your bank statements was for the last 6 months, shoot that back to me. I'll tell you what the differential is. I can't give you a full prequal because we haven't pulled your credit and we haven't looked at a lot of other things, but we'll get you an eligibility benchmark, whatever. Yeah, I'm curious. I'd like to know what could you do for me based on my bank statements, and whether I got to send you my bank statements or just tell you what. And I don't know what you need because again, I'm not a loan guy, but yeah, people love to check eligibility. That's one of those good calls to action. But yeah, put that up.
Bill, I got a question.
Shoot.
So,
Ready.
and I can share my screen if you need me to, but for the most part,
okay.
I have a listing, new build listing story that I built, and I'd like to get your input on it. But
yeah, absolutely. Share it.
One thing I noticed, so I have all these ads kind of running for different, it's basically two different areas that I broke up into 3 segments. And I ran it as a traffic, as a messenger, and as a lead form to kind of test it out. The one thing I noticed, for some reason on Sunday, it stopped basically running. Like it's active, but I don't see any clicks, any activity.
Happens all the time. And it's funny, Facebook will make all kinds of BS excuses. They'll never own this. So when an ad says it's active, but it doesn't run, I'll usually give it 24 hours. But if it doesn't run for 24 hours, this is kind of a cascading solutions approach. The first thing I always do if it's not running within an hour or two is I shut it off and I turn it back on to republish it. I also go to the top 3 dots in the top right corner, click on those top 3 dots and say reset ads manager. So I reset my ads manager. I turn the ad off and turn it back on. Works, but not always by any stretch. So when it works, great. Next, I will go in and duplicate the campaign, the entire campaign. I just do a quick duplication on the campaign and publish it again. So now it's a completely new campaign. I leave them both turned on. I pay attention. And as soon as one starts running, I shut the other one off or delete it, whichever one takes first. And I confess, I have sometimes put up, duplicated it multiple times to get the damn thing to work.
Oh, wow.
And twice ever, that wouldn't even work. And I had to just go recreate the whole post from scratch. And I literally just moved it over to one screen, went to this screen, opened a new instance, created a new ad, cut and paste, and I just had to put up a new ad. Sometimes they just get stuck.
Got it. So I'll probably duplicate the campaign and then hopefully that does it for me.
It almost always does. That one's, 75% of the time it works for, now 90% of the time it works for me, but on occasion I have to repost the whole thing.
Kind of looking at the lifetime campaign of the ad here, which is pretty much like a 2-week time frame, kind of an idea. From what you can see here, any tips, any advice you can tell me, like, oh, that's too much, or you can improve here? I turned the last one off because it looked like to be pretty expensive.
$7 click. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, these are link clicks. So the cost per click is clearly the primary factor, but it's not the only one, just because sometimes I'll write an ad that gets a lot of clicks, but they're not good leads because I was too, my hook was too much of a tease. But really, all of these are good. The new messaging conversations is the one, because remember, the ad is what dictates the link click cost. oh, here's an ad that's getting clicks for 30 cents, 40 cents, whatever. The one with the lowest cost per click is the best ad. But then the messenger sequence is the one that gets the most conversions from click to message. So when I see 52 to 12 over there on the right on unique clicks and new messaging conversations, 52 to 12 is a 1 in 4.5. So, 22%, whatever that conversion rate is, 20 to 1. I'm not digging that one so much. 58 to 10. That one's pretty good. 24 to 0, 20 to 0. I'm not liking that. And it could be the ad and what leads them in. More often than not, it's the messenger sequence. Does the messenger sequence go with the ad? But right now, if I were to look at that, I would take the 3 that have a bunch of new messaging connections and have the higher conversion rate and leave those turned on and then shut the others off. I would kill 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. And I would keep the one that has 10, 12, and 15 messages and let those 3 compete with each other. And by the way, anytime you get to 5 or more ads in the same ad set, it really is hard to tell which one's doing best. I try to keep it down to 5 per ad set, just because it's getting spread over so many. I don't trust the algorithms to be able to discern between more than 5. But when you get down to 3, 2 or 3, they seem to do a better job at going, yeah, this is the best one.
What is your thought on keeping those 3 and then duplicating those 3, but maybe with a different messaging sequence to see if it helps with conversion?
Love it. Love it. And by the way, I frequently, when I want to test a single variable, because when you change more than one thing at once, it's really hard to tell. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take those 3 and then I would duplicate the ad set. So now instead of duplicating the ads in the same ad set, I'll have another ad set. And then I'll go in there and change the messages on that one so I can look at them separately when I really try to narrow it down. But either way, you're 12 on a $17. You're doing freaking great on the messaging connections.
Yeah,
you're
my
at
gut
$2.
tells me it's my conversion, that it's worth a little bit off, but but we'll see.
Yeah. Converting the messages is the art, and know that if you put links in there for them to click on, you'll get more messages, but it's harder to get them to engage. After they click to see the listing, my auto reply there is everything. This one is blah, 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 blah. By the way, if this one's interesting at all, I have one coming up that you might love. Would you like a sneak peek or whatever? Yes, please. Absolutely. Fabulous. Whatever. But I got to get them to engage in the dialogue. And from a click on a link, it is harder than a click on tell me more about the whatever. I'd like to check my eligibility. Can I speak to it? All those kind of things clearly make engagement easier on the messages, but both of them yield roughly the same cost per transaction.
Got it. Can I show you a different campaign? Is that okay?
Of course, man. I love looking at other people's stuff.
So, well, I'm learning from the best with a lot of learning curve, as you already know. So this one I'm going to show you, it's one that I'm running for a realtor that I was able to kind of get on board. And we're running it on a niche property, $1 million property. We're trying to get exposure. It's in a mountain area. So we're trying to get exposure to help kind of sell it and convert it. So I built 3 different campaigns, engagement, awareness, traffic, and I'll show them to you. Okay. Basically, listing stories with the pictures from the actual home. So one shows the bathtub, the hot tub, the other one shows the front, the back end. And
this is an actual listing. So this isn't a listing. Sorry, this is an actual listing ad. Okay, got it.
Yep. And let me see. So because it's such a niche property and it's $1 million home, we're kind of casting out a large net, basically most of SoCal, because we feel that's where our buyer's going to come from.
Yep.
But I don't know, any input on your end that maybe
first off, whatever you ask for is what you're going to get. So when you do an awareness campaign, you're going to get a lot of reach, but not a lot of messages, not a lot of leads. Same thing with engagement. Engagement's going to give you a lot of likes and shares and mostly 3-second video views if you got a video, but not a lot. So if you go with traffic to Messenger or engagement to Messenger, if you tell Facebook I want messages or I want clicks, that's going to give you the most leads. When I want leads, my new process here, when I'm doing a listing ad, I'm going to hit you with one way out of left field, but I like to use the listing ad in the future. I want to use that to get listings. So the first thing I do, I call it a client side listing ad. This is for the client, not for leads. I'll put, hang on, I just heard the doorbell and I lost, there we go, admit. So I'll put, when I'm doing a listing ad, I'll put, say, $100 on it. And I'll optimize it for engagement, which is going to give me the most video views on the needle. I'll put half of the money to SoCal.
Do the same targets, right?
And I'll put half of the money to the universe. I call it a reload audience, but basically there's no targeting. You got to go in, and I'm happy to show you guys how to do it, but I target
Take care.
the entire free world. And my views will cost me 1/10 to 1/20 of a cent. My engagements will cost me, 1/5 of a cent. And I'll put part of my budget. Say I got $100, I'll put 20 of it out to the world. You never know, you're going to find somebody who wants to relocate. I'll put 80 of it out to the local market. But now I'm going to get 50,000 views on that. And a bunch of engagement. I'll do that because then I'm going to take a screenshot of that post with a little blow up, a little pull out, with the view count, 51,000 views or whatever. And then I'm going to run listing ads off of that say, anybody can throw a house on the MLS and get a handful of offers. That doesn't mean you got top dollar. Far from it. If you want top dollar, you got to find the one perfect buyer. And the key is massive exposure. Ask me about all the things I do to market my properties, things like my 50,000 viral video view guarantee. And then I got that picture or that picture I show in my video or whatever, but that gets listing leads better than anything else an agent can do to get lit, because that's what people want. I want massive exposure. I want a marketing plan. I want all that stuff. So I do that because one, I owe it to my client. I got a listing. I need to spend real money and advertise it. So I put $100 on a video view campaign split between the universe and the local market. And then I run my lead gen and I use the same video. Make sure that when you put up your lead gen ad, your messenger ad, you don't re-upload the video, because when you're putting up an ad, you can select a video that's already in your account, because now my ad's going to have tens of thousands of views on it. And I got to tell you, it makes them way sexier. Since we started putting up, we just take $1 on everybody's post at ad traffic. We take $1 and put it out to the universe in parallel to sending it out to the, because when nobody wants to look at a video with 19 views or 59 views, but when there's 1,000 views on it and there's all these likes, and it's not like buying fake views on Fiverr or something that's No, this is real engagement. They're real views. They just might be in, Atlanta, Georgia, or freaking Brazil. But it really makes your content have that social validation, and the ROI I get by taking just a little bit off the top when I do that makes a big difference. So that's when I do a listing, I run both of those campaigns. One of them, client side, massive views, make the client happy, lots of exposure for the home, lots of branding for me, and the ability to then make that part of my offer and my listing presentation. Then I run my lead gen where I want them to actually reach out to me about the property.
The lead gen, you said you run that as a traffic to Messenger, or?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if you do traffic to Messenger or Messenger. They both kind of yield the same output. Knowing that when I say traffic and then traffic to Messenger, when I tell Facebook traffic, Facebook's going to focus on anybody who clicks a lot of things. But a lot of people are going to click and then they're going to go, oh, well, I don't use what's message. No. So I'll get more clicks, but I'll lose more of them from the click to the message. When I optimize for Messenger, then they only show it to people that are real Messenger users. So I'll get usually, and there's not as many of them, so I don't get as many clicks, but they convert better. It ends up kind of being a wash. I prefer personally to do traffic to Messenger because I'm grabbing everybody who clicks into my fan base, and now they're going to see all my posts. If I post 3 times a week, I want them to see me over and over and over. I really lean into the retargeting because I see people convert way later. I keep getting stories about people that are getting conversions from their retargeting, like this. Thank you to Josh to sharing this one to me. But yeah, this was somebody who ghosted him, meaning they go dark on you in Messenger. They don't reply to your stuff. And 29 days later, they popped in because the message they ghosted him on was, if you could wave a magic wand, tell me what your perfect home would look like, or tell me what the perfect deal would look like. And that's a good question, by the way. So they clicked on the lead or on the ad, the link to the listing, saw the thing that said, if you could wave a, this is a great when it's got blah, 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 blah. I realize the odds of it being perfect for you are long, though. If you could wave a magic wand, tell me what your perfect house/deal would look like. That's my auto reply. And they ghosted him. But then they kept seeing all of his posts. And 29 days later, the guy just came in out of left field and said, open concept 2-car garage, blah, 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 and bought for $850. And I love that. That's literally never even talked to the guy, never got him to engage, and boom, $850 sale 29 days later. Remember that half of the people who make an inquiry about a listing will ultimately buy over the next 18 months. But only 4% of them convert in the first month. The rest is stretched out, especially over the next 6 months, but over the next 18 months overall, gets you up to about half of them will ultimately convert. So the retargeting, knowing that you have a fan base out there of people who are actually looking at homes, making inquiries about listings, to me, that's the money. The upfront conversions, that just pays for my advertising. The back end conversions, that's the money. That, again, personal approach. The good news is it all works. That bank statement loan thing that I put up there, Kurt, if you're on here, who was it? Was it Lourdes? Somebody, I remember when I first put that up, because it was just a freaking harebrained thing I put up 6 months ago. And somebody ran it, and like I got 2 deals from it. It's just like, my God, why aren't you spending $1,000 a week on that? For me, success comes from repetition, not from variety or diversity. I love it when people find something that works and then just dig deep and perfect it. But your stuff is freaking badass right now, Alberto. Agents should
Right.
line up to work with you.
All right.
Now
We're
start
getting-
doing some videos with them where you're in the video. Those are still my favorites.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. What on the lead gen stuff, do you gauge the frequency as well? Or do you let that kind of be a little bit more just in case you want to hit them a second time?
So, you guys can Google it, and there's a lot of varying information out there. But when you look at it, it's one of those bell curve things where when the frequency goes up, your results go up, and they tend to plateau between 3 and 5 impressions. Now, if it was 5 impressions in 2 days, I'm being a little annoying. If it's 5 impressions over 2 weeks, that's fine. I'll never let my impressions go above 5. Personally, I tend to plateau them at about 3. But if I'm seeing results from a campaign, as long as it's a video, and it's got to be a video to do that, even if it's a still picture, it's a 6-second video of a still picture. Because then the first thing I do is I go, wow, this one's working, but my frequency's up at 2.7. I need to get more new people. So I go and build an audience of people who watched that video for 3 seconds or more. And then I jump back into the ad and I exclude those people from seeing it, so that once they've seen the ad, they can't re-see the ad. And now Facebook has to keep going and finding new people. And now I can run that ad for years, as long as it's still timely, and never worry about frequency issues. I can also, by the way, if you're like, well, yeah, but what if I want them to see it a few times, or I don't want to rule them out forever? Great. I don't make it a 365-day audience of 3-second viewers. I make it a 7-day audience of 3-second viewers. So they can only see it once a week. And then I don't care if the frequency goes up a little bit.
Got it.
I just
Nice.
don't want to annoy them. Great question, by the way.
Thank you.
Other questions? Other stuff to look at? Oh, look, there's actually chat stuff going on. Let me just peek. Love that one. Want to steal that one. Where can I catch the replay? Thanks, Bill. I have a call. I have to hop on. Okay, right on. Hi, Kurt. All right. No, I don't see any other questions. The replays, by the way, are I lied last week and said they were at youtube.com/add traffic. When I moved my channel to add traffic, Facebook changed my name to /Bill Hillestad, even though the channel is called Add Traffic. And YouTube drives me crazy with all this kind of stuff. Because you have to make a brand channel. If you try to change your channel name, it changes your name, so that my Gmail, I was add first name, traffic, last name on Gmail, and everybody's like, what's up? Are you not Bill Hillstead anymore? So I changed it back to Bill Hillstead, and it stuck. And now I have to wait 30 days before I can change the name again of the channel. So you can either search for Add Traffic, or you can go to youtube.com/Bill Hillestad and find the Add Traffic channel. And I put them, look, there you are, Alberto. I put up the total recordings. I have put out requests to everybody I can. If anybody knows somebody, I'm trying to hire someone, because I do not just these trainings, but I do multiple trainings a week. I'm trying to get somebody to take, and I know it'll be expensive, but I want somebody to go through and watch this whole dang thing and then split it out. Because last week we had the buyer, the builder stuff from about, here to about here. I want single topics. I want FAQs pulled out of it. And I will get to the point, by the way, where you'll be able to come in here and see different playlists. And I'll have all of the FAQs, and I'll have all of the content suggestions, topics, whatever. So this will get split up. and broken out. But for now, if you want to go back and reference these, I will download this after, upload it to YouTube. It will be on the ad traffic channel, which is currently at Bill Hillistad. Freaking YouTube. And it has to be for the next 30 days. They only let you change your name once. But like I said, that channel is called Ad Traffic. The URL is just Bill Hillistad. If you search for Ad Traffic, it should show up. Let's just see. Ad Traffic. There it is. 25 videos. So there you go. Go subscribe to Ad Traffic. I'm going to build this out into a behemoth. I want short videos, answers to questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? What if frequency is a problem? That one should be pulled out in a 2-minute answer. That's my goal for this. I just need somebody else to do it. And I throw that out there just because, one, keep an eye on it. It's going to get good. Two, if anybody knows somebody that wants to learn this stuff inside and out and get paid to do it, I will be pushing lots of stuff to them. Other questions? Well, we got some time left. Can't wait. Keep an eye out. I'm going to get my whole ad library up there. I'm grinding on this one. And the reason I'm doing it with Kurt and with Josh and Michael over at Top Shop Pro and Keith Geringer at EP Mortgage Services. One, I do not believe in scarcity. It is not in my DNA. There is always plenty of business to go around. People that feel like they got competitors, I just don't get it. Sharing it as a group co-op thing, because I want everybody, anybody that wants, I want you guys to give feedback. I want people to say, I ran blah, 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 number 2, and I'm going to have it up to where there's 32 of these. I want to take the Kate's ad, whatever this was, add it to the library, because then I want to start adding case studies to it. Ran this for, got blah, 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 blah. What was the cost per lead? So that people can go in and add that I did this one, I got this, and this out of it. I ran this one, got 1,000 leads and got no conversions. I ran it and got that, my leads cost this, blah, 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 did that. I want the nerd part of this. I want the feedback. So that's going to be my request when I push done for you ads to people. Please give me feedback. I want Kurt to give me feedback. I want Josh at Top Shop to give me feedback. Holly with Mortgage Unlimited, all these people that are running these things in bulk. Let's work together and figure out which ones work best and refine it and tweak it and test it. Because the slightest little changes in copy sometimes make a massive difference. Sometimes I write totally different copy, kind of like you did, Alberto, and it's like everything worked kind of the same. There was 3 that stood out, but it's hard to know what a real winner is if you don't spend 500 or $1,000 on it, on each one. Facebook won't even go out of the learning phase on lead gen at less than 50 leads. It's just too hard to say what's random and what's real. Hey, I got one for you guys. Just wanted to, because we're not out of time, and I try to always go a little bit over. When you're just looking, remember, 80% of your content is just there to stand out, to make people like you. Because most of the time they're not looking for houses. You just got to stay top of mind, be their friend, whatever. Somebody just hit me up a little bit ago, and I sent a bunch of messages to them. They're like, what's that thing you used to do? Because when we built websites back in the day, when I had an agency and we built thousands of websites, we would put GIFs instead of regular photos so that they had motion, because the eye is attracted to motion. The GIFs that perform the best by far are these Cinegraphs. Oh no, it doesn't work if I open it like that. I have to open it regular. But if you can see, the water is pouring the whole time. A Cinegraph is a photo that one portion of it has video, live video in it. And there are really cool tools that make this super easy to do. Cinegraph is a free app that makes it really easy to do. C-I-N-E graph. But watch this. Cinegraph, enter, and Cinegraph images. Look at all the ones that now they even have them on Adobe with stock. But if I go to cinemagraphs.com, you can see examples. So all you do when you take a picture with your phone is you actually take say a 5-second video. And then you take the video and you say, do I want it to go in a loop or do I want it to go back and forth? So now it makes a GIF where it's going in a loop, or if the loop has a jump cut, then I just have it go back and forth. And then you just take your finger and you just highlight or mouse all the areas that you want to be frozen. And it will freeze those sections and leave the motion. See, still photo, but the little bunny rabbit. Well, basically, I just took and highlighted the bunny rabbit, and that one will leave in a back and forth segment. And so, and I'm telling you, like, stand in front of a wall with the sun on you and have somebody film you waving. And then you take the Cinegraph and you freeze yourself so you're not waving. And then you unfreeze your shadow so your shadow is waving, or your shadow, or you jump up in the air and do that, woohoo, kick your legs over, click your heels, and then boom, land, and then pose. Well, you're gonna freeze yourself in the pose, but you're gonna leave the shadow going woohoo, and it makes these photos that, and if you can come up with angles, then I work so hard for my clients, it makes my competition look like they're standing still. So that's my quote. What are you going to put up with that? I'm going to go to a busy street and I'm going to shoot or someplace where there's a bunch of people walking, and I'm going to walk, and then I'm going to freeze everybody else so that I'm moving and they're all standing still. Or you go to a playground and you get on a swing and you swing back and forth, but all the other kids that are on the swing are frozen and you're swinging. Or these things get comments, especially on Instagram. These things blow up and they're so insanely easy to do on your phone. And I forgot all about it because we said that's the one I showed you a picture of me doing. You just pour something, freeze everything except for the pour, so that it looks like it's pouring. And then you write some headline about glass half full. My glass is always all the way full. My glass is perpetually a lot more than half full. Whatever, blah 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 blah. But I'm telling you, these things are solid gold. If you could find a way to do it with listings or whatever, where you're going woohoo, pointing at it or something like that, hold something in your hand and have it swinging. God, I remember we did so many of them because we'd do like a photo shoot and the one would strike a pose, but then we'd swing her earring, shoot the little video, and so it'd be a still photo, but her earring would be, or her hair would be slightly blowing. I can't tell you how much they make people stop and how many comments they get. And I forgot all about these, and they're super easy. The secret is your phone can't move when you shoot the video. Otherwise, everything's moving a little bit. So you always got to put your phone in a tripod or a selfie pole stand, whatever. Anyways, and then whatever is right behind whatever is going to be moving has to be still. I can't have stuff behind me moving. 12 people, because then when you leave me moving, that'll be moving too. But yeah, somebody just hit me with this question. I went and pulled up all these Cinegraphs, and I'm telling you, they are social media gold to the extent you can work them. And then if you can learn to do it with people, way cooler than a basic selfie. There you go. Bonus tip.
And all of his friends, I think 12 people.
Yeah, look at this. Do a search for Cinegraph and then make it an image search and then look at all these and just find one you like. Shadows are really cool. Swing sets,
Anyways,
bubbles.
I am out of here, and it's a good thing we got the keys to the
Whatever.
house so that I can be in the
Nope. Sorry, somebody just took a call from a client. All right, guys, any questions?
I have a question, Bill.
But anyways, all is well.
Go,
It's
Ryan.
fine.
All right. Well, a couple of things.
The rest of the house is
I guess
over.
I'm
Windows are
doing
in.
ad traffics, obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm still
The one that was
struggling. And I
supposed
guess
to come
maybe I
yesterday,
misunderstood the kind of the
Closing
whole
soon.
concept strategy part of it, because we keep posting, and so I post. The vast majority of my posts are done on Instagram and then shared to Facebook. Although I do Facebook Live and so forth as well.
Yep.
So a lot of times I will do something from Instagram, share it to Facebook, so it posts there. But then I'll also share it to my stories on Instagram and so forth. So I'm getting things that are being duplicated. I don't know if there's a way to, I mean, I still want to share them to the other platforms on Instagram, whether it's an Instagram post or an Instagram story, because not everyone uses both. But then when I do that and I share it, it's getting posted a couple of times. So I keep seeing, I keep getting, okay, 15,000 or 1,500 people saw your post, $15, whatever. I don't care about the charges so much, but all I have to show for it are a whole bunch of people seeing my content. So I guess I guess I was under the impression that we were going to mix ads in, but maybe that's kind of up to me. So that's kind of the piece of it.
Yeah, if you want to mix in some ads, I'd love to share ad copy libraries with you guys and ad ideas, and you got to do your stuff. The idea behind ad traffic is, one, big reach. Two, the biggest part for me is getting the same people over and over so that I become familiar to them, a la that ability to be in every realtor's feed consistently. And when you're putting up some good screening content, some mortgage content, again, I want the same 20,000 people to see me over and over kind of thing. That's what I'm hoping for when I do that. I will go dig in specifically. And by the way, you're the source of, and I say this with all the love in the world and genuine appreciation, you're the source of most of my headaches because you push the envelope in so many ways. Well, my audience is so big that I don't have money left over to go do this. And I've rewritten my algorithms based on, because Kurt brings it back to me and he's like, what about this? What about, so I go in and dig through your stuff. I will go dig through the stories, reels you can't promote yet. It's coming. They keep saying it's coming, but it's not there yet. But I can do Instagram posts, Facebook posts, or Instagram stories separately. So I will go dig through and see if I can come up with any interesting algorithms to not have the duplication. But for the most part, the big success is coming from just being seen by the same people, staying top of mind. Really good when it's used as an add-on to lead gen, because that gives me the continuity, the drip. I don't have to have a CRM or whatever. I'm staying in front of them. And then I do extraordinarily well with the people that do the audience borrowing. I shoot a video for a financial planner. And if I recall, you're a financial planner guy. That would probably be one of my favorite things to do. Ask me to reteach that.
We tried to do that, but the financial planner audience was so darn expensive because there were so few of them that were on social.
No, not marketing to financial planners. The training from 2 weeks ago, if you go rewatch it, my angle.
Yeah, I see that now. I asked for it a couple of weeks ago, and Kurt told me I had to get it from you, so I was looking forward to getting on this call. I said,
Yep, it's there. Watch it. But in a nutshell, it's this. Here, I'm going to share my screen.
And I think partly why my budget, I mean, I can increase the budget or change the budget, but I think partly why my budget is going so quickly is because one or two things. You
have a massive audience.
The ads are being duplicated for one. So, I mean, they're, the same one's being put out there twice. And then I mean, it's not uncommon that I'm posting 4 or 5 times a day. So now I've got, those are all being pushed out as
That's
well.
good though. Like Deborah Bird posts 4 and 5 times a day, and it's crazy. One will get 47 impressions, and one will get 7,000 impressions. It really does lean in, and you just get the impressions on the best content. So it does great. I can't wait to have our own reporting module done because Facebook's is so complicated.
Yeah, she just reached out to me a few minutes ago on this call because I mentioned I was struggling with some of this. So we're looking at some other, strategies as far as my posting and so forth.
You'll learn what works for you and what doesn't. But watch this. Let's try something boring. How about life insurance? I can't think of anything more boring. And I'm going to say Kansas City. Enter. And now I'm going to go to my filters. I don't want to see videos. I want to see channels, life insurance channels, and look at them. And I'm still scrolling, and I'm still scrolling.
I have my notes from that. That's why I was wanting to get a copy of
okay.
it. I couldn't write near as fast as you were going through it. So that's why.
All right. So this one, I got to tell you, John Olson, great. 3 views, 15 views. I don't know if he's really, but I love to find people because I got to find something I can say I want to share. So nope, can't go after John. What about the Union family? This is the channel, blah, blah, blah. The financial program, oh, it's all in Spanish. No habla. Yeah, I'm gonna Kansas City Life Insurance Company. What's that one? Great. They got a lot of views on those, but I just got to find a piece of content I can legitimately say I wanted to share this. I like your piece on, because I'm not going to lie. I love your Cashback Life 20 and 30 video. Wanted to share it with my audience. Thought I would check with you first to make sure that's okay. FYI, I typically get a couple thousand views on these. They're going to say, yeah, go ahead. I'm going to say, thanks, or fantastic. I'll send you a Facebook friend request so you can follow along with any engagement. Hopefully you'll pick up some new contacts and business out of this. Then they'll accept your friend request. Then I'm going to put it up with a hashtag rule, because I'm going to put $50 on that one. I'm not going to do just a regular post. And then I'm going to put it, and then I'm going to share it to their timeline so that I know that all of their contacts are going to see it, because that's where the engagement will happen. And it's optimized for engagement. I'm going to pick up their database in my database. I'm going to get that implied endorsement because, people just assume because I'm shooting this video about my buddy over at Kansas City Live or whoever it is, my buddy, Brian Bulger, they'll just assume that I'm your buddy and whatever. But getting him to meet with me after I put 5,000 views on his video, and he's going to see a bunch of real engagement, because again, the engagement's going to come mostly from people who know him, from the 85% of his followers that don't see his organic content ever, but who know him and have just forgotten, and his regular followers, because I'm saying blah, 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 check out his video on Universal Life. People forget. It takes some work and some art. And by the way, that's one that Keith Geringer swears he's going to have his virtuals taught, to go search and find the right people, the perfect match. Yes, this is the perfect person, the perfect piece of content. He said they'll send my emails for me. They'll line up the blah, 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 blah. They'll stitch my 2 videos together, because I've got to record my 5 or 10 second intro, not long intros. 5 or 10 second intro, 15 max, and then their video, and then get all that viewership for them. That's, man, they will, after that, wow, that was awesome. More engagement than I expected. Hopefully some good stuff came out of that. Keep the content coming. By the way, if you ever want help or want to collaborate on some of this stuff, would love to work together, whatever. Let me know. We'll grab coffee, whatever. I send that email after the fact. They're going to pay for the coffee. They're going to opt in. They want the exposure, but I'm going to make a friend out of them. And whether they become a friend or not, I just got connected with their database in a way that, because they're familiar to their database, I'm in the video, that familiarity transposes over to me. Because I said some nice stuff about them in my intro, people just assume that the reciprocity is there. That's it. And by the way, that's my whole connecting my connections. Me personally, that's my single favorite video to do, other than the closing gift video. That's my single favorite video to do. I would be an animal about all of the BNI, Latip, all those networking groups. I'm not going to go join them all. I'm going to find somebody that's in one and say, oh, no, I can set this up for everybody and show you how you do it. Because real simple, I'm going to shoot a video saying, hey, blah, 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 blah. My buddy Brian does this. And then he's going to shoot a video saying, hey, I'm here with my buddy Bill. He does this. And then we're going to put those up and cross-pollinate. And I'm going to get referred to everybody you know all at once. Then you're going to get referred to everybody I know. The difference is on this one, if I'm going after just financial planners and life insurance guys and wealth advisors, I don't want to seem fickle. I'm going to exclude my own fan base from most of those videos. I might exclude the financial planner audience from that because I want to get their database and I want to get strangers, but I don't want to wear out my database. But that's the 7th wealth planner he's recommended this month. There's an extra strategy to that. I would love to teach that class again and get really concrete on it if you guys ever want to.
Yeah, that would be a good class. I did have another question though on the audiences. We had built out some audiences, you and I together, you doing a lot of it obviously, but we had built out one audience where we basically went in and found kind of a general consumer audience, those that were using all of the basic mortgage terms, if you will.
Yep.
And I think that had gotten to almost to just short of 1 million people on it. And now it's down to like 700. And then I had another one that was kind of video view, and that had gotten up to 20,000. And now that's down to 13,000. So I guess I'm not sure how we're going backwards.
Oh, you're always going to have that happen. So one, on saved audiences, every week or two, they change. Facebook changes what's allowed in the special ad category. So they're always taking things away. And then we go find other things because they are always adding things. And so it fluctuates, but it'll range between 1/4 and 1/2 of the population, the people most likely to buy. On the custom audiences, if I go out and do a bunch of stuff to strangers, and then let's say I have my video view audience, my engagement audience, here's 20,000 people that watch 3 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever my audience parameters are, that watched it. And then I take and I say, only in the last 90 days, if I don't continue to hit those people and they do, or I continue to hit them and they don't watch another one, they're going to fall out of that audience eventually. So I'm always going to have people that are falling out of my audience. These days, my default is I'm using 90 days and 3-second views because I recognize that getting a through play is, I don't want to throw people away just because they didn't watch another full through play. There's too many people that I don't watch through plays ever. So I don't want to throw them away. So I lean on 3 seconds as a rule of thumb, and I tend to retain those better, but only if I continue to stay in front of them. So and I change my algorithms every week based on performance. And like I said, you're one of the outliers that I use to try and make the formulas accommodate. And that's one of the issues is if I'm spending $10 or $70 a week, say, as an example, and let's say that my views are costing me, or my impressions are costing me 0.6 cents. So in order to get in front of, and I always want to get in front of at least half of the people every single week, half to 3/4. So in order to reach 10,000 people, it's going to take the full $70. And then there's nothing left to go out and get new people. And even though I'm staying in front of those people, they're not always going to. So you create a kind of a back and forth because great, now I'm going to lose some that fall off. That'll free up some budget to go out and find new ones. But right now your budget is barely big enough to reach just over half of your fans because your fan base is so damn big. So you're going to lose fans. You're going to keep the best ones. That's not a bad thing to lose the ones that aren't engaging more.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
I
hard
can,
to
I can change the budget. I just had never been, instructed that that was what I need to do. But because I get an email, as I mentioned, every day that says, $13 was spent. And I reached, 1,400. What is that 1,400? Is that new people? Is that people that are already in my audiences? What does that equate to?
It's 1,400 unique individuals that saw your post. That's reach. Unique people who saw it. Views or engagements.
So when you're saying unique
that's
people,
3 second views.
would that be people that are not currently in an audience now then?
Nope, it doesn't matter if they're in an audience or they're out of an audience.
Right.
They're just unique. If you have 1,400 people reached and 2,800 impressions, that means they saw it on average twice.
Right.
Normally, if you look at it for a day or a week, you will reach. Let me see if I have one up here. Yeah, Bill, going through, and I'm going to recommend some changes to Bill as well, because he reached 50,000 unique people last month with 92,000 impressions. He's not quite being seen twice. I want you to be seen 2 or 3 times a month. I need more impressions and than reach. His audience is a little too big for his budget. So we either want the audience to shrink and organically match his because it will plateau. Water will find its own level. When you have enough budget to keep them engaging and watching those 3 second views, clicking, liking, commenting, sharing, whatever, over time, it just gets better and better and better quality. But it will match your budget, because if I don't get these 50,000 people to engage, to watch a video or to click, like, comment, share, I'll lose them. And by the way, that's why I try so hard to get people to post at least 1 video a week. And that's my problem with Bill as an example. He doesn't do enough videos, and it's really hard to get people to engage with static posts. But a video is really easy to get them to engage with because 3 second view is an engagement.
So with that said, then, because I don't have a problem doing the videos. In fact, I do quite a few videos, and a lot of them are done in the form of a reel. I know you can't grab the reel, but I can save that reel. I mean, and I don't know if it's duplication. I mean, I know you can't pull the reel and post it anyway. My question is, if I take that reel and save it and then just repost it as just a regular post, can you then pull that?
Yeah. And by the way, I only like to pull from one place. Some of you guys want to promote everything on Facebook and Instagram. No, one place, because otherwise that's when you get the duplicate. So like Deborah, I only do the stuff from Instagram. Because sometimes she posts on Facebook, but she posts on Facebook a couple times a week. She posts on Instagram 5 times a day. Yeah, whatever. I'm only going to pull from Instagram, because if I pull from both, it's expensive. My budget doubles when I'm pulling from 2 pages. I just want one place where everything you put up there, that's what I'm going to go promote to both places.
Yeah, everything I post is to Instagram, because it's super simple. When I post it to Instagram, Instagram does the second part of it for me automatically and posts it to Facebook. But my initial post is to Instagram.
Great. Then I'll be promoting it from both places. as long as we're only promoting from Facebook, and I'll go look at that and make sure of that. I know I can do stories. I've never done it, but you gave me a reason. I don't have anybody that's an active story poster to see what I can do with it. So I will figure out the story side of life as well.
Well, I'm the kind of person that if I'm on someone's Instagram, I'm typically looking at two places. I'm looking at their stories and I'm looking at their feed. I typically am not inquisitive enough to go into their videos or their reels, although I do know a reel is going to show up in their, you know, if they're following me, they're going to see that reel.
Yep. Yeah, I only look at what shows up in my feed. That's the majority of the world. I still lean on Instagram, but I find for me, it's honestly just an easier way for people to post stuff, because we're down to 92% of the business that comes from all social platforms combined comes from Facebook. That's where the business happens. But I'm becoming a bigger TikTok fan. Advertising doesn't seem to work on TikTok, and it's a $50 a day minimum. It's a little deceiving, but I don't care for social validation purposes because they count 1/10 of a second as a video view. So when you go, I got 1,000 views, yeah, that could be the equivalent of 4 views on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't count it unless it's 30 seconds. Facebook 3, Instagram 3, Twitter 2, LinkedIn 2. So yeah, just post to Instagram. Know that the algorithms will get better and better. I would up your budget to $15 a day, and it's not like you got to spend it, but your audience will shrink to match whatever your budget is. Because if I look at this and go, yeah, Bill Hart's reach, which is the best of anybody's, I know, period, $3.19 average. Most people are at $10 or $6 or something like that. Well, if I go, great, for every $10, I'm going to reach 1,000 people. I got 20,000. Only way I could reach all those is if I was spending $200 a week or 150, whatever, because I don't got to reach them every week. And you're never going to reach 100% because some people just aren't there all the time. But that kind of dictates, this combined with your daily budget dictates how many people you can reach. If you don't do a lot of videos, what I'm going to do on Bill's, I'm going to change it from 90 days, because the only engagements he can get to retain his audience are from his clicks, likes, comments, and shares, because he'll go weeks and weeks without doing a video. Well, if 90% of the audience or 80% of them, I'm retaining them because they watch video, I'm going to lose all of his audience. So I'm going to go with engagement or video, and I'm going to stretch it to 180 days instead of 90. There's still people that are engaging. There's still people with whom he is familiar, because I need that repetition. Whether I pick an audience, I got to hit them over and over and over.
So if you change that metric from 90 to 180, will it pull those folks back that would have fallen out? Okay.
Retroactive. I can go up to 365-day look back. And by the way, when I'm doing lead gen, I leave it at 365, because again, 53% of the people who look at an ad we're going to buy in the next 18 months. If they would let me go out, whatever 18 months is, I would, because I want to stay in front of these people for the next year, because I know they're good and they're worth it. But I've always got to come back to my reach. What does it cost me to stay in front of them? If it costs me $3.19 to reach them, and I want to reach them 2 to 3 times, I got to know that every month I need to be spending about $750 to stay top of mind, to be memorable. So $750 per 1,000. If I got 20,000, I need to be spending $750 times 20,000, $150 a month. If I got 50,000 and it's costing me $750, I need to be spending a solid $350, $400, or my audience is going to reach. When I spend $229, my audience is going to shrink, because I'm not going to stay. And that's to reach them. Remember, I can reach them and reach them and reach them and still lose them if they never engage, never like, never watch. And I just keep changing. And all I know is I'm getting better and better, and I'll never stop changing it and getting better at it. One of these days, I'll be able to hire a full-time data analyst because I really want to crunch these numbers and learn what that perfect is. It 180 days? Is it 210 days? Is it 90 days? Is it a combination of? And by the way, we started doing in intermediate audiences. We're going, yeah, anybody that watches 3 seconds in the last 60 days or watches a through play in the last 180 days. And then I take the difficult outliers that you present lots of diversity. And I got a couple dozen of you that I use you as my research guinea pigs.
So it wouldn't make sense for me to expand my number of days out since the budget isn't there for the audience I have right now, obviously, because that would only increase that audience.
Yeah, and mind you, it's going to make the audience bigger and it'll be easier to retain them, but you still might see shrinkage because, again, I don't mind shrinkage. If somebody doesn't watch one of my videos or like one of my posts for 6 months, whatever that number is to you, I don't know what that ideal number is because this is a new school of thought. The only person I know playing in this realm to actually be able to empirically say, no, when somebody doesn't watch your stuff for 6 months, you're better off getting rid of them. But is that 90 days? Is it? I can tell you that I didn't see a change from 30 to 90 days because I've run it all the way down to no. I want people. I just want my super fans. You'll see that phrase in some of my audiences for people. Sue Meitner, we built a super fan audience. I only wanted people that watched a through play every month. Those are my super fans. And yes, they're going to convert the best, but damn, I can't stand throwing away all the people that are still watching. Not the person who watches 10 seconds of it. What about the person that, I don't want to throw them away. Personally, I gravitate to a bigger audience because all that really matters, remember, in the beginning, before we started doing this, we would just pick an audience through targeting and then just hit them over and over and over and over. No different than a realtor picking a farm and mailing postcards to them. And that's still super effective for realtors. Dean Jackson's stuff is freaking amazing on postcards. And he can show you postcards have a crazy high ROI. It takes 3 to 5 years to get there. And he's tracked everything for 8 years. But the issue is, if I'm mailing to 1,000 farms, 1,000 homes in a farm, and they're seeing it over and over and over, half of those people are probably throwing away. They don't even know my postcards. I've never looked at a postcard. I take the bulk mail and I just throw it away, dump. So I've never seen it. But it's still effective. And by the way, in postcards, it's first deal comes average 8 months in per 1,000 homes. Break even, where you actually have made as much commission as you've spent, usually comes at about 18 months. And the curve starts to really climb somewhere in year 3. That's where I start to actually move into real profitability. And it keeps growing and it keeps growing. The more consistently I'm in front of people, the more results I get. But postcards cost 75 cents a piece. This costs a penny, 3 cents. And it's like a postcard had a camera built in and I know who's throwing it away, or sensors, and I know who's reading it. I only want to keep the people that are reading it, but it'd work if we kept everybody. The key is the consistency, getting an audience you stay in front of. My goal with all this is the perfect audience. How do I find the perfect audience of the people that, whatever your budget is, these are my 20,000 best people. And I will always change it. And I always I want people to go away too. I don't want massive audience shrinkages. And that a lot of times that happens because I do one big campaign, get a whole bunch of people, and then I don't stay in front of them consistently. And 90 days later, they fall off a cliff. How do I retain that audience? But know that it will continue to tweak and continue to refine, but the best ones will never, ever go away. I will go in and play with your audiences and try along. I can't stand it when there's a whole bunch of audiences and it gets really confusing, but I will give you some 3, 10, some longer, and we'll look at it and see what the overlap is and do some analytics, and we can go over that next time. Sorry for the long answers, everybody. I'm not sure anybody's still listed.
No, we're all here. Bill, on the YouTube search idea, if nothing comes up when I change for the area, any idea as far as where else to go, maybe try to look or just go on social media and find people through there? Because I searched my Riverside market, and funny enough, nothing came up, which is kind of weird.
Oh, no, I don't believe it. Watch. Let's play it. I would have done Orange County, but let me just try Riverside. So I'm going to say life insurance, Riverside, CA, search. And then I'm going to say filters, channels, life insurance, investments and insurance. Wow. 319 videos. This guy. Oh, nope. I take it back. I started to say, this guy's my dream come true. This guy did everything 11 years ago and then gave up. He tried hard.
He tried hard, yeah.
And then bailed. But yeah, this is one of those things that will be a perfect VA task to have them go sift through and find. But, and that's what Keith and I were talking about. It's like, I don't know, I want to come up with the process that searches LinkedIn, because people do a lot of content creation on LinkedIn that gets very little engagement. And I can point to that just as easily. Facebook, of course, Instagram. I don't know if I'd look on TikTok, but anybody, and by the way, articles work just as well. Somebody writes an article, they're not a video creator. Now, I like video creators because I can do more for them, but yeah, if somebody's got a good article and I just do a quick video intro that says blah blah blah, check out my buddy, whatever, and I'm gonna grab his profile photo or whatever, wrote this article, click here to download it, because then you're going to optimize for clicks, and your clicks are going to be 30, 40 cents, 50 cents, open targeting, and then when I'm able to show him that, yeah, on my $50 budget, I got 119 downloads of your article, man. Congratulations. It's going to freak him out. And look at the views on the video. If I could ever get YouTube, so I could do it with any content creator, anybody that needs reach. So yeah, I would go through here, Hub International. That one has a lot of subscribers. They've already got their stuff rocking. Cal Commercial Insurance, who's that? There we go. Yep, this is my target. Now, I still prefer a name than a company, and they would do a lot better, but hopefully it is one person. I could pull their name and contact them. But yeah, look at this. 4 months ago, they put up this video that got no views.
Click on the client review. It might mention the person they worked with.
The client review. Where's the client review?
Right next to the one you're on.
This, client review. Oh.
It might say I worked with John and he was great or whatever, but.
Oh yeah.
We've worked thousands of hours to do our very best and make everyone happy. And now we're ready to celebrate because we've just received an amazing review we're excited to share. Take a look. This is one of our favorites. We go to great lengths to constantly work on improving our process.
Yeah, wow. I have a hard time recommending.
This one seems like it's home insurance or business insurance.
Yeah. You're gonna have to sift through, and that was, insurance. I'm gonna try wealth advisor. I'm gonna try whatever, but I'm just looking for underexposed content and people that are creating it that I can give them some exposure by posting it on my page with a quick little endorsement. And like I said, I exclude my own audience because I want to get their audience.
Would it make sense to do a realtor that's posting listings that just aren't posting a lot of listings, but aren't getting many
Oh my
views on the
God,
listings.
yes. I'm so glad you said that, Brian, because that would be one of my main targets. I love, I'm not, am I sharing? Yeah, I'm sharing. I love Aaron Alvarez's stuff. I've always been a huge fan, but now mind you, he's doing their listings. He's doing the listing videos with them, which I still think is brilliant. But imagine if all I did was, I had working with hundreds of working with the real estate community. I kind of one of my favorite things to do is to feature hot listings from the realtors that I love working with, and just have Brian's listing picks. And every week I feature a listing, or twice a week. So you just go, Brian's listing picks of the week this week, courtesy of my good friend John over at ERA or whatever, Remax. Check out blah, 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 blah. Quick 5-second intro. Then his video on your page. Ask for a rule for this that targets all of the well, actually, I would target the realtors with that, even though I'm going to, because I'm picking the listing. I'm not saying this realtor, because then I might offend my other realtor partners, but I want all the realtors calling me and going, Brian's hot listing picks. And I'm going to just, yeah, if my rule on that one, by the way, what I would put $50 on it, and I would make it 50% relo audience and 50% local audience. Because that relo audience is going to put some crazy viewership on there. And you're going to get the exposure to, you're going to get 2,500 local views and 25,000 non-local views. Now for $50, anytime a realtor, yeah, I'm happy to. I charge them, whatever, $25. You might only put 5 on the relo and 20 on the local, because I want to make sure all the realtors see it locally. Never thought about it. I'm going to come up. That's another thing. I'm going to start coming up with default rules for you ad traffic guys. And then for people that know how to do it, you can just copy my rules and do it manually. But yeah, for $25, all I got to do is do my listing pick and put 5 on the international or on the non-local audience, the relocation audience, 20 on the local audience, target all the realtors locally with half of that and half of it to consumer, because I want all the realtors to see it. And I want consumers to see it. And I want to have massive numbers on it, because I want all the realtors to be like, I want to do your listing picks. I want to do your listing pick. How do I get on Brian's listing picks? Whatever your title is. That's a great one. I would love to do realtors. And I would just pick the ones that have cool videos. Yeah, that would be awesome. I never even thought, I'm going to noodle on that one. That might be next week's training. Put a new idea in my head. How can I go freak out realtors and make all the realtors want to, and just like this, I want to go do videos with Darren. Except this would be easier. I don't even have to do the video with them. Especially if I had list reports or listing booster or one of those things that makes automatic videos for me. The listing, I don't know if you guys have ever seen listing booster or list reports, know them. They both kind of do the same thing differently, but they do all kinds of marketing stuff for every listing. List reports is cool because it actually monitors the realtors and flags you every time they get a listing and just says, do you want your stuff? And you say, yeah, it does all. And here's the video, and here's the sizzle reel, and here's the TikTok, and here's the whatever. I just like the fact that it flags the listing. So every time I see a listing, and it puts up a single property website. Great, here's the video. My call to action is check it out, and it's a link to the single property website. And if I drive all that viewership, and yeah, I would charge them for it. Damn. But yeah, anytime you can promote their video, that's a cool one. And all you got to do is stitch your intro on the front of their video. Everybody, right? And the positioning for it's pretty simple. Look, I've worked. It feels like I've worked with every realtor in town. I'm sure I know I haven't. but I've been at this for a long time. And I'd love to feature. And so I'm not a real estate agent, but man, everything I do, blah, 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 but some sort of an angle that just says, I love, because I'm tied into the industry and I'm not married to my own listings. I love to pick my favorite listings every week. These are my favorite listings. That's a way you could do the like a listing story, but you're just doing your favorite listings and you're not doing them for lead gen like we do. You're doing it for client side views. All right, guys, I have 4 minutes to run to the head before my next meeting with Scott Lewis from EXP. I will see you guys next week. And I love doing this stuff. I think I'm going to add another day starting next month. We'll see you guys. Thanks for showing up. Bye for now.
Thanks.